He's Julius Thomas. He's the Broncos tight end, the pride of Portland State, former basketball player there, and putting up great numbers for the Broncos. Although, the loss to the Chargers Thursday night. Let me start there with you, Julius. What was Peyton like after the loss to San Diego?
Peyton is always, he's always an example. That's one thing that, I really, respect and admire of what he is. And he's always an example. So, after a loss, he's not the kind of guy to come and, point the finger or, get upset with everybody. What we always talk about here, if we don't win a game is, we look at what we did, and we break down the tape, and it's usually, it's a lack of execution. And for us, that may be turnovers, that may be, guys not being in the places they're supposed to be. And so we really try to evaluate what we did wrong and then correct it. So, we try to stay positive, and Peyton does the best job of that.
Have you ever laughed at the line of scrimmage with some of the stuff Peyton does or says?
I don't know if I've ever laughed, man, but I've been a little nervous, like, whoa, we're doing that, sometimes, people are like, man, you got to do a bunch of stuff at the line, man, you're out there, so much, it looks like it's so much fun, and, we have it is fun, and it's unique to be in a style of offense like that, but people don't understand how much pressure that is. You're standing out there, you're getting your mind right for the play, thinking about what you got to do, and all of a sudden, Peyton's screaming. He's like, "We're changing it!" Oh, and you're like, "Uh-oh, dang! Now I have 2 seconds to figure out everything that I need to go do to execute this play." So, it's probably more difficult than people think for us.
Okay, but what happens if you didn't hear him? You can't say, "Peyton, say it to me again," can you? If you don't get it, what happens?
No, you got to ask for him to tell you again. There are a lot of times when, you don't hear him the first time, or, it's loud or something's going on and you couldn't quite make out, what he said. And so you know what to do, and, you got to ask him again. Sometimes I got to run over there and get right up close to him. Like, what's going on? What are we going to? Okay, cool. And then you got to go sometimes tell that the outside guys, because, a lot of places are loud and it's tough to communicate.
Do your impersonation of Peyton Manning.
At the line?
Yeah. At the line of scrimmage.
He's pretty relaxed. He gets up there, green 80.
See, I'm on the outside. I can't hear you. I'm playing in Kansas City. Julius, I can't hear you. Come on, speak up. See, that's what it's like. So, ready?
Okay, so
right. Put the phone down.
You're going to be me, or I'm going to be you?
I'm going to be you. You put the phone down, and let me go line up over here, and then I want to hear you go. Okay, I'm over here, and we're in Kansas City, and man, is it loud.
Hey, Tahoe. Tell everybody. Tahoe. Go tell Demarius. Tahoe. Okay. All right, you guys ready? Let's go.
I like when he goes, hurry.
Oh, yeah. Hurry. Yeah, that's, okay, we're hurrying. We're ready to go.
He's Julius Thomas, the Broncos tight end, joining us. Dan Patrick Show. Their next game is the Texans coming up this weekend. But in basketball, Portland State went to a couple of, I think, back-to-back tournament appearances. Is that right?
Yeah, we were very fortunate and, good enough to win our conference 2 years in a row. My sophomore and junior year.
What were your numbers there at Portland State?
I think my senior year, I may probably average around 10.5 points, 6 rebounds, something like that.
If I put you against Jimmy Graham, one-on-one.
Well, I've never actually seen Jimmy Graham play basketball, but I know the type of athlete he is. And
he blocks a lot of shots.
Yeah, I was a master at, the head fake. I'm 6'5", playing power forward, man. Nobody had the little shot fake rip through better than I did, man. And then when I get to the rim, I was kind of trying to be like you and, go up there and finish with both hands, right? That's how you got it, right?
Playing in cold weather, how does it be an advantage for Denver come postseason time?
Well, hopefully, we maintain our seed, and everybody has to come through Denver, which would be amazing for us. But I think that we run the ball effectively. In those cold weather games, and it becomes a little bit more of a running game. And the last couple of weeks, we've kind of been up and down in the run game, but it'll make us go out there and establish that run game. It's kind of like we did in New England. And then when it's time for us to start passing, teams are going to be off balance. A lot of what we need to continue doing going forward is staying balanced. And when the weather gets cold, it's not something that I think people talk about our team like we're from San Diego or something. I mean, it's going to be 32 degrees and below pretty much for the rest of the winter here. We'll get those days down in the single digits, and we practice in it, and it's not something that catches us off guard. So it kind of makes me laugh sometimes. People are like, man, what's Denver going to do when it's cold? And I'm like, we don't have an indoor practice facility. We practice outside, whether it's -2, like it was heading into that Titans game, or whether it's a rare day of sun and we get 40 maybe. So I think we'll be more acclimated to the cold than people expect.
Well, congrats on the season so far. I know you're doing the Top Value Performer Award with Vizio. You can go to Vizio.com/TVP. Voting is open until January 17th. And I'm looking at the other candidates here: Russell Wilson, Alshon Jeffrey, Giovanni Bernard, and Zach Stacy. It's pretty good company there, Julius.
No question. I felt very honored to be part of this contest. Those guys have been doing a tremendous job for their teams, playing very well, and just to be mentioned amongst them is a great honor. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see who the fans feel is the best top value performer. All those guys go out there and they play, give it everything they have every game, and I want to see who the fans think is going to be the guy that brings the most value to their team. And I would encourage them to go vote for me. At Julius_Thomas hashtag TVP Julius Thomas to cast your vote for me. I would greatly appreciate that, and we'll be excited to see what happens.
He's the pride of Portland State. Hey, good to visit with you. Thanks for joining us, Julius.
All right, thank you.
Julius Thomas, Broncos tight end.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.